And I know the biggest thing about Tyrese was, why would you get a defensive guard? You already got a defensive guard. You need more, guards who are offensive driven, as Tyrese is more defensive driven. But Tyrese, like I said, Tyrese said, don't sleep on me, guys. He said he believes he shoots way better than his stats show. So if we can get a guy like Tyrese and develop his shot, help develop get him comfortable shooting, because that all comes from the guys around you. If they're hyping him up like, Tyrese, take that shot, that's your shot, bro, take the shot, don't be scared, take the shot, he can get much more fluid and start getting much more active on offense. And a lot of people are saying Tyrese is the sleeper guy in the NBA draft, and that we got to steal with that pick. What's up? What's poppin'? What's happening? Welcome, guys. I want to say welcome to another great episode of But I Don't Have a Show Title. So that is what I'm asking you guys. Help me come up with a show title. Drop in the comments what you think the name of my show should be called. But welcome back to another great video with me, Symone. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your notification bell, because as you can see, content is coming like rapid fire right now. This is the time for the NBA content creators to be getting off all of their content right now. Free agency period is about to start tomorrow. We just got off the draft. The season is starting in a month. So make sure you guys turn your notification bell so you can stay tuned into everything that I'm dropping in these streets. Now today I'm coming to you guys to tell you why the Philadelphia 76ers are the ultimate winners of the 2020 draft night. Not just the draft, but the draft night in the whole, okay? Now you guys know, Philadelphia fans, we're coming off an NFL draft where the fans weren't very happy with what was done in the draft. But Daryl Morey made up for all of that with the 76ers draft, because we were the ultimate winners of the draft night. And I'm gonna start by telling you guys all the big moves we made to really reshape the 76ers team, but also keeping our core of Ben and Joel. A lot of you guys, the biggest thing y'all were shook about when Daryl and Doc came to the Sixers was, are they gonna shake up the core? Are they gonna trade Joel, or are they gonna trade Ben? But those guys were able to build a team in one night. Literally, in one night, those guys were able to reshape the dynamic around Ben and Joel, who do their best. Obviously, Ben and Joel are two guys who do their best in the paint, but they need some perimeter playmakers around them, and Daryl got it done last night. So let's go through the night, and I'm going to tell you guys how the 76ers are the ultimate winners of the 2020 draft night. Starting number one with being able to dump Al Horford's salary off on another team. It didn't matter what team we dumped it on, no, but we dumped Al Horford. Now, of course, all of the Sixers money were tied up in Ben, Joel, Al, and Tobias, and Al just wasn't working. Ben, Joel, and Al together just wasn't getting it done offensively. And, obviously the Sixers made a big mistake when they let JJ Redick go without filling his role of having a lethal three-point threat, just a lethal sharpshooter, period. So Daryl came automatically, and a lot of people were scared they was either going to get rid of Ben or Joel, but he didn't either. He literally got the guys around Ben and Joel that they needed, starting with dumping Al's salary off on OKC and getting Danny Green to Philadelphia. Danny Green was traded for Al Horford. Danny Green, a guy that's going to be a free agent next season, so we'll be able to decide what we want to do with him. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. So we were able to dump him off. We were able to dump Al off, dump almost $69 million in his salary off to OKC. We had to give up our second round pick in this draft, we will get to later, and we gave up a future first round pick, and we also gave up rights to the Serbian guard Michik. But we were able to get Danny Green, and let me read off some of the biggest thing about Danny Green that was just so perfect for the Sixers situation, who need help around the perimeter. Danny Green took 69% of his shots last season from the 3-point range. Almost 70% of his shots last season was coming from behind the arc, okay? And we need that scoring ability. So he was the 10th highest rated player to shoot that frequently from the 3-point range. And also Danny was on a hot streak. He was a back-to-back NBA champion. I think he was the only back-to-back NBA champion, because he won with the Raptors and he won with the Lakers. So hopefully he's bringing that big championship energy to the 76ers. Now, that was our big move before the draft. And also we picked up Terrence Ferguson, a young guard who can help Philly's wing depth. So that's good. A young guy. We also, got mixed up to help the trade be even. So we picked up Terrence. He's still a young guy. He was a future first round pick for OKC. So hopefully, you know, maybe he'll come and develop with the Sixers and will unlock his true potential. You never know what Terrence got in him. You know what I'm saying? So we not only get Danny, but we got some depth in Terrence Ferguson as well. That's before the draft. Before the draft, we got our number one priority checked off. Our number one priority was get rid of Al, period. To get something in back. And we got rid of, not only to get rid of Al, but we got somebody in Danny Green who's going to get back to his pure shooting form, because Danny Green was shooting about 46% from the three the season before last. Those numbers did fall off a little bit last season, but that could be because he was playing alongside LeBron and AD, and maybe he didn't, you know, maybe he was a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you playing alongside royalty, okay? His knees might have started buckling a little bit when LeBron was staring him down. That could have knocked his shot off a little bit. Also, they were playing in the bubble, and that was a strange environment for a lot of people, okay? A lot of guys were saying they had anxiety in the bubble. Maybe that messed with Danny Green's shot. Who knows? But we're going to need Danny to get back to that Raptor shooting ability, which I'm sure he will. Also, Danny is obviously going to bring huge defensive presence to the Sixers as well, because we did lose a little bit of that defensive presence, which I'll get to later. But let's get into our number one draft pick, number 21 overall. With the number 21st overall pick, the 76ers selected Tyrese Maxey, a freshman out of Kentucky. He already ready for the big league. So let me go ahead and read off his stats from last season. He averaged 14 points on 42.7% shooting. He shot 29% from three-point range. He averaged 4.3 rebounds and 3.2 assists per game. Okay, and the biggest question is like, okay, obviously, you know, his shooting ain't all the way accurate, as you can see from his numbers, but his free throw percentage was 83.3%, and people are saying, okay, he has the fundamentals, obviously, for at the 3-point line. He has the fundamentals, so it could develop, his shot could develop in while he's in the NBA, because he has the potential. We see at the free throw line when everything is settled, all the dust is settled, you know, he could get back into that raw form. So maybe his shot, they're hoping his shot develops in the league. And some scouts were saying his shot was better than what other scouts were reporting. They don't think that he really showed his full potential at Kentucky. So if he has more in the clip shoot wise, hopefully he let it out when he comes to the Sixers. But he's a real defensive minded guard, and he does his best under the rim and around the basket. So that would be good, because he'll have big guys like Joel and Ben that he'll be able to manipulate under the basket, you know, make some plays for them under the basket, and we'll see maybe he can elevate Joel's game a little bit, add some creativity to the offense. So that is going to be huge to have somebody like that in the rotation. Obviously he's not going to be starting, but it will be good to see him, you know, be able to get into the rotation early and get some significant minutes. So we'll definitely see what we're going to get out of Tyrese. Now, when it comes to the second round, so our second round pick at number 34, Theo Maledon, was traded to OKC in our deal to get Danny Green. So we obviously didn't see that pick get manifested. And then that's when things heated up really in Philly, because obviously our 36th overall pick, we made a splash move and we made a trade to get Seth Curry, guys. Talk about lethal shooter. So we had to trade away Josh Richardson, a guy that just wasn't getting it done for us offensively. Now, of course, we lost a big defensive presence in Josh Richardson, and it's like, dang, you swapped Seth for Josh, but we need that lethal shooting that we can get out of Seth. And Seth and Ben in the backcourt is going to be a nice dynamic, okay? And Seth can really step up his defensive game if he wanted to, because Seth has that dog mentality in him. If he want to step it up, he has it in him. If he wants to step it up, it's up to Seth to unleash his defensive ability, okay? Now, we'll see what he does. But offensively, Seth is the guy that we need around Joel and Ben Simmons. That guy who can make plays from the 3-point line and keep things open for Ben and Joel. Now, let me read off Seth's stats, okay, guys, because this man crazy. So he ranked third in 3-point shooting percentage, 45.2%, okay, and he was 48.1% on catch and shoot threes. 48% on catch and shoot threes. The man is clutch, okay? Them Curry boys, they with the pot, they the chefs, they be cooking up. 48% on catch and shoot threes is big, guys, because that's a desperation three he 48% on there. Not just on threes where he has plenty of time to set up his footwork and get into the shot. Catch and shoot threes. Seth, I don't care if you, I don't care what he not doing defensively. He gonna be putting up 48% catch and shoot threes. That's gonna catch us up in deficits. Those are threes that catch you up, and that's how you eat away at a 15-point deficit and whatnot. So that's huge for us to get Seth. So obviously we had to trade away that 36th pick to get Seth, which I'm cool with, because we need guys who are ready to come in and step in and make plays now. Not guys we gotta develop, like drafting guys. Seth, the number that's really true to my heart from Seth is that catch and shoot number. Okay, 48% on catch and shoot threes. That is phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal. And so obviously Seth is Doc Rivers' son-in-law, so of course, you know, Seth is going to be playing always up to his full capability every night, because, you know, he want to keep impressing his father-in-law, you know, staring him down on the sidelines. We know Doc is cold-hearted, even with family ties. We saw with Austin. You know, if you're not playing right, Doc will let you know, period. So hopefully Seth is going to be bringing out his full capability. So yes, we had to trade away our 36th overall pick, but we made a big splash move by getting Seth, period. Okay, and another move, we didn't have to trade Joel, we didn't have to trade Ben, but they're building around those guys and getting guys that can open things up and help them from the perimeter while they get things working in the paint. Now our last two picks. Also, let me read a quote from Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey said late Wednesday night, he said, having a truly elite shooter really changes the dynamic for Ben and Joel. Yes, because obviously Ben and Joel's numbers were the best when they had JJ Redick playing alongside them. So our last two picks. At number 49, we selected Isaiah Joe, another guy who has playmaking ability from the perimeter. Great perimeter shooting. So he's a 6'5" guard from Arkansas. And he had 9.1 3-point attempts every 32.7 minutes per game over the 2 seasons at Arkansas. He just didn't do it last year. He was averaging that over his last 2 seasons at Arkansas, and not only was he putting them up, he was making. So Isaiah is another guy who has a lot of potential on the offensive side, and yes, the 3-point line is further away in college, but Isaiah and the rest of these college dudes know that, and that's why when they're in practice and when they shooting around with the guys, you know, they back up a little bit because they know the 3-point line is further away in the NBA. So Isaiah is going to be another great depth piece, a young guy with a lot of potential who can come in and help out offensively, because that's obviously what the emphasis was on at this point for the 76ers. And lastly, at number 58, they drafted Paul Reed, a forward from DePaul, and a forward named Paul from DePaul. And Paul was described as a long and athletic big man, but he has great scoring potential. He's very active on the offensive side of the ball. So he averaged 15 points per game, 10.7 rebounds. So there's a double guy right there, double right there. He had 1.6 assists. He had a field goal percentage of 51.6% and the three-point percentage of 30.8. So that is a big man who is not only athletic, but he is getting engaged on the offensive side of the ball. As you can see, 50% shooting from the field, 15 points he averaged per game. So that is great to see in a big guy, especially coming, you know, in Philly where we got some big guys who are not really comfortable shooting the ball. So it's good that Paul is comfortable with that. So we got some guys who got some scoring potential out of the draft. And I know the biggest thing about Tyrese was, you know, why would you get a defensive guard? You already got a defensive guard. You need more, you know, guards who are offensive driven, you know, as Tyrese is more defensive driven. But Tyrese, like I said, Tyrese said, don't sleep on me, guys. He said he believes he shoots way better than his stats show. So if we can get a guy like Tyrese and develop his shot, help develop get him comfortable shooting, because that all comes from the guys around you. You know, if they're hyping him up like, Tyrese, take that shot, that's your shot, bro, take the shot, don't be scared, take the shot, he can get much more fluid and start getting much more active on offense. And a lot of people are saying Tyrese is the sleeper guy in the NBA draft, and that we got to steal with that pick. So we're definitely looking forward to see what Tyrese does, because like I said, we did lose some defense, of course, when we lost Josh Richardson, and of course Al as well, but Tyrese, if he ain't scared to shoot, then shoot. Okay, don't let the stats fool you with Tyrese. He said he gonna get it done. He gonna get it done. Period. So these are the reasons why I think the 76ers won the draft. They were active. Just Wednesday period, they were just super active, not just in the draft, moves that they made before draft, dumping Al, getting Danny Green. Like I said, Danny Green is a lucky charm, I'm trying to tell y'all. And then also getting a guy like Seth, like I said, that 48% on the catch and shoot just gets me excited. So let me know what you guys think about the draft and the moves we made before, during. Probably gonna make some more moves after the draft. Free agency starts tomorrow, so we probably can see some guys that we might sign. So let me know what free agency you think you want to get in Philly. Let me know what you think about all the moves we made draft. Let me know what you think, just period. How y'all feeling? The season starts in 1 month, so we about to get active. We about to get to it. We about to defend what's ours. You know what I'm saying? Philly is the city of brotherly love. We're also trying to make it a city of champions. So make sure you go ahead and like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, turn your notification bell on, because the videos, they coming like Thanksgiving dinner. So also let me know what you think the name of my show should be. Bye.